Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith and I am a third degree brown belt in Isshinryu Karate. This video is entitled Isshinryu Karate, Why Ranking Up is So Hard and It Probably Should Be Even Harder. Um, Alright, so one of the goals early on in my Isshinryu martial arts instruction, we were informed by Master or Grandmaster, I'm not sure of his rank anymore, he's at least a 7th degree black belt. We might even be an 8th or 9th degree black belt by now, because it's been a while since I've looked into his rank. But anyway, let's say Master Sensei Michael Storms. Um, he told us, that at that time we had actually that Isshinryu had actually proven in private seminars that they were at least 2 belt ranks better on average than any other known style of martial arts, especially at standing, striking, and standing grappling at the time, and that was in 1992. And we were still pretty sure that we were 2 belt ranks better than anybody else as of 1996 through 2001 year. All right, so ranking up is pretty hard in Isshinryu, especially by the time you get to purple belt. All right, and then above purple belt, it takes anywhere from a year or two per belt ranking to get to fourth degree black belt. All right, basically it takes a year to go from second degree brown belt to third degree brown belt, even if you practice, even if you show up to even if you're a good learner, a good and talented learner at martial arts, as I was, and show up 5 nights a week, 3 hours a night, it takes an entire year to get to third degree brown belt from second degree brown belt. Um, and then it takes another 6 months to a year or two, depending on your progression rate, to get your first degree black belt. All right. Then after first degree black belt, it takes a year or two per promotion to fourth degree black belt. Then after fourth degree black belt, it takes 5 to 10 years per belt to get promoted again. All right, they just flat out do not promote you in Isshinryu karate unless you are ridiculously, noticeably better in at least your head knowledge of the style. Um, and so that's why you see so many middle-aged fourth, fifth, and sixth degree black belts. And it's like, what takes them so long to rank up? They do not promote you unless you are noticeably better, no matter what your age excuse is. And then after about when it's assuming you reach seventh degree black belt and are still young enough to pass the seventh degree black belt test, after that you can go 10 or 20 years without getting promoted if you never improve. Um, all right, so ranking up after purple belt becomes harder and harder with each belt type, and it should be that way. All right, you got to be noticeably better. Basically, a brown or second degree brown belt should be able to win a handicap match against 2 purple belts. All right, certainly by the time you're a second degree brown belt, you should be noticeably, radically better than a no stripe purple belt. The belt promotions are not just artificial. And case in point, we had a purple belt who got her purple belt too easy originally at Michael Storm's dojo, and I don't even think I think she might have been a student somewhere else before him. All right, because I don't think he promoted her to purple either. I think somebody else had already promoted her to purple. But in 1992, she was a no stripe purple belt, and Michael never promoted her because she had no fighting talent and never improved. He never even gave her a stripe. And then uh, after Mark opened his Heyman location and Michael Storms had closed his Heyman location, this same girl moved to Mark Myers' dojo, and she was still a no stripe purple belt and had never noticeably improved. And the entire time from 1996 to 2001 that I was at Master Sensei Mark's dojo, she never improved and never got promoted beyond no stripe purple belt. And he explained that to her. If you don't get better at fighting, at sparring, because she had all the kata up to purple belt memorized, and she had all the basics memorized and everything. But he told her, if you don't get better at fighting, I am never going to give you a stripe, much less a brown belt. All right? Because I was actually there, he made it clear to her that and she understood that. That if you don't get better, because she really did not have purple belt fighting skills. And fighting is supposed to be 50% of your belt ranking is your sparring. Are you actually able to full contact spar other people of a similar belt rank and make it convincing that you know what you're doing? And the answer for her is no. So there is such a thing as a paper belt ranking. There's even such a thing as a paper black belt. I see a lot of these people on UFC, especially the women in the women's division, a little less often in the men's division, but they end up throwing air punches because they can't judge the distance to the other fighter, and they might end up throwing 10 or 20 air punches in a single round, um, because they misjudged the distance to the other fighter. Well, I'm almost legally blind, and I fight without my glasses. If I ever fight amateur or pro, I'm going to actually be wearing contacts. But I spar without my glasses, so I have negative 650 vision in each eye, and I can judge distance to somebody in front of me better than they can. I can hit with my jab. I might throw one air punch, but I'm not throwing 2 or 3 air punches in a row, because if my jab misses, I throw my front snap kick to figure out to myself exactly where they are. If my jab barely misses, I can hit them with my front snap kick, and then I know I can step in and jab cross. So don't throw air punches. It's you know what I'm saying. So these paper black belts get beat really badly in the UFC, and they might even get beat by a brown or purple belt that's had years less instruction in them because they got promoted too easily and weren't a real black belt. Incidentally, assuming I can finish cutting enough weight, I'm going to try to fight in an amateur fight that a professional promoter has arranged for me on August 12th. The reason he decided to convince me to fight amateur rather than the full-blown pro league is because he's not sure whether or not I'm a paper black belt or brown belt, rather. So he was concerned that maybe I was a paper brown belt, and I told him, I was instructed by a Purple Heart winner in the United States Marine Corps who used to teach the Isshinryu combat system in the Marine Corps, where it's a life or death situation. So I'm not a paper brown belt, and I'm pretty sure I've proven that with my knowledge and skills already on video. But belt ranking should not be easy, all right? And belt ranking should mean something. If you're 2 belt ranks higher than somebody, you ought to be able to win a 1 versus 2 handicap match against them, all right? So preserve the system, as AJ Advincula said, and as some of the other Isshinryu masters and grandmasters say, but know how to fight. Do whatever you have to do to win your sparring match that's legal in the dojo, and prove that you're better than somebody a belt rank or 2 better lower than yourself. Don't rank up because you have just kata. Rank up because you're really better than the other person. All right. Thank you for watching.